FayeCoops TV. Okay, guys, I cannot get this out of my head. Back in December, right after the FOIAs dropped, Gypsy Rose made a comment that stuck with me. She she basically said something along the lines of the mainstream media will never go against me. And now, with the backlash still cranking up, it's starting to feel like she might be eating those words. The problem is, I cannot find the receipt to save my life. I'm no FayeCoops, I'm not, I don't know, into the weeds, okay? I'm just a random person on the internet reacting to what's out there about the Geppetto. And I tried to track down the audio and I came up empty. The only thing I could find that even confirms this moment happened, it's a Reddit post from about 5 months ago. I'm gonna put it here. So, if I'm not crazy and you know exactly what I'm talking about, and you happen to have that clip or you know where to find it, I need it. Email me at FayeCoopsTV@gmail.com. The email is also in my description box. And if you've been watching my channel, you already know I love putting together mixtapes. And I'm planning to do one covering this entire backlash. So if you got receipts, clips, anything, just say. Send it over at FayeCoopsTV@gmail.com. Please, no dick pics. Dick pics are not allowed. Please, don't be nasty. Don't be nasty. Now, let's talk about why Gypsy Rose felt so confident saying something like that. Because saying the media will never go against me with your full chest, that doesn't come from nowhere. In my opinion, that kind of confidence only comes from one thing. You think you have connections, insiders, people in the media you can contact and who are willing to write an article with the narrative you want out in the public. And if that's true or not about Gypsy Rose, this is a crazy rabbit hole to explore, and you guys can make your own conclusions by the end of this video. But just to be clear, everything discussed here is a conspiracy theory. Do not take any of this as fact. I could be completely wrong, okay? This is all for entertainment purposes only. I will say this rabbit hole starts with the TMC article that unleashed the backlash against Gypsy after she admitted her mom, okay? And what is important about this article right now is the date and time it was published. This article came out in March 22nd, 2026 at 12:27 Pacific time, okay? So remember this, because what people didn't notice is there was a silent article war in those early hours after the collapse from hell broke the internet, making Gypsy the player that got played, the official trash of the internet, the confessed mommy murderer. But later that night, okay, people posted this article that's super contradictory and completely feels like a PR cleaning campaign. It does not mention anything about the FOIAs and kept pushing the Didi is the abuser narrative. But I want you to say here that this was published on March 22nd, 2016. So at this point, TMC TMC was out, like highlighting the whole world what Gypsy did, okay? And the reason why I say this is a cleaning PR article is because while TMC was like pushing the killing joke gone wrong, here people was saying this. Gypsy Rose Blanchard participated in the We Listen and Call the Judge TikTok trend to candidly discuss her prison time for the murder of her mother, T.D. Blanchard. They do not say it was a joke. They say it was a discussion. She was discussing, right? It's so obvious that this is a PR. No, this was not. This is a PR article, okay? Why they're doing this, you will know eventually. But what's interesting is just after this article came out, Page 6 came out with this so like absurd article that says Gypsy Rose Blanchard sucks up the sun in vacation snaps after drastic weight loss transformation. This was published next day, March 23rd, 2026 at 1:56 p.m. Eastern Time. This out of touch article completely ignores the backlash. And I have to admit, guys, that the content of this article have the most stupid details about Gypsy. It's so nonsensical. This article states Gypsy was in Florida. Let me move to the next page, slide so you can see. All right, so this article says here at the bottom of that stupid photo that we already saw, on her Instagram, whatever she posted, it says Gypsy Rose Blanchard showed off her thinner frame while on vacation for spring break. This is a fucking lie. This is a fucking lie. Because this fucking article completely ignores the collab from hell with Natalie. That was the whole point why Gypsy was in Florida in first place. So this article, this freaking Page 6 article is pure garbage, not real. It was more like a hit piece to the backlash cranking up at that point. And the reason I say this is like a hit piece just to completely eradicate the backlash is because this article came around 2 hours, I will say a little less than that, after the TMCBS interview where Gypsy Rose talks to Charlie Neff, right? So we see here that this interview and article, everything came out on March 23rd, 2026, around 12:10 Pacific time. And if we go back, the Page 6 article was published on March 23rd, 2026 at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So I made a conversion here and it says that at 1:56 p.m. Eastern Time is about 1 hour and 46 minutes later than 12:10 p.m. Pacific Time. So the coincidence is crazy. It's crazy that this Page 6 article just came out right after the bullshit interview with TMC. And I know this is a rumor. that is around. Okay, I'm not saying that is the case, but many people in the streets of the internet are saying that probably Charlie Neff is the insider, the contact Gypsy Rose Blanchard has inside of TMC. I'm not saying that is the case because we don't have a way to confirm that, but yeah, that is what is out there. And it's super curious that all this silent war was happening, you know, and nobody noticed the game, PR game that was going on. And I know, I know, and I have the hunch. I think I have a moment of clarity, and I will bring somebody back from the dead. And that is Melissa Moore, the woman behind the Lifetime show, the books, all the crap that Gypsy Rose got and did, and whatever the labels that she liked to use, she got everything from Melissa Moore. And I will say that Melissa Moore gave Gypsy Moore something extra, something more than the fake Dior bag that she that Gypsy Rose was burned. Oh my god, that was just one so fucking ridiculous. I didn't make these slides, but the producer. Oh my god, producer, that photo is so crazy. Anyway, so so the producer put that photo there, and I believe that yeah, Gypsy Rose received something more than the Dior bag. Melissa Moore introduced Gypsy Rose while they were doing the show to the unethical way, the unethical publishing world, of pay for play. So I will say that Melissa Moore introduced Gypsy Rose to the unethical game that Hollywood does, that is the pay for play, all right? I know it's very unethical. All these magazines don't say that they do that, okay? But it's a known secret, that gossip magazines, they do this game, okay? They do this game. So pay for play in the context of gossip articles refers to the practice, okay? Where a person, a publicist, or a company plays pays a publication or platform to feature a story, name, or brand to control the narrative, often without disclosing it as advertising. And this is something that all celebrities, all I think everybody in Hollywood does this. They either trade favors or they pay for play. Okay? And why I say this, that this probably is a practice that Gypsy Rose has been engaging behind the scenes all this time. And I know for sure, right? Right? This is my conspiracy theory. That was Melissa Moore who introduced Gypsy Rose to that game. It's because of a photo I will show you next. As you can see, here is Melissa Moore with Gypsy Rose and all the rest of those ladies in the premiere of her reality show. But what's important here, the most important lady here is right at the end, right? It's right here. This lady, her name is Janice Rubenstein, and she is the editor at large at People and host of People Everyday Podcast, a daily dose of breaking news or whatever. You can read that. But this lady, what is important about this lady is that she is the one covering all the articles that came out of the Gypsy Rose's Lifetime after lockup. She covered when she came out for the first time. She covered her sister, whatever love. She even covered Pimp use opinion of giving a 50-50 chance of her marriage with Ryan, and also, as you can see here, I cannot see very well, but it says Gypsy Rose Blanchard recalls feces loving Dios mío. Feces loving cellmate. Oh my god. All right, guys. And she also, let me put this a little bit over. No, let me go here so you can see here. This woman, Janine, she also covered Gypsy Rose cosmetic surgery, where she says here, Gypsy Rose Blanchard reveals she's getting cosmetic surgery. Wish me luck. And I want you to focus on this word here, exclusive. And also, there is another article that you will see eventually. Just focus on that word, okay? Exclusive. And I will explain later why that is very important, okay? And giving you more context, Janine is the one that covered that crazy photo shoot where they they have Gypsy with they have Gypsy completely changed. I don't know. She looks like Morticia here. I don't know, and and also she covered other details about her Gypsy relationships with Ken, right? So here says Gypsy Rose. Let me get myself out so you can see. Gypsy Rose Blanchard and boyfriend Ken Urker open up about attending couples therapy to improve relationship. Do you believe that? Have you seen the interaction between Ken and Gypsy? And you're gonna tell me these two went to therapy couple? Hell nah. Hell to the no. But Janine Rubenstein, she only covered Gypsy Rose when she was in the reality TV. Once that was like gone, cancer or whatever, I don't know what happened with the Lifetime show. There comes another person, okay? And here is Angel Sandals. She is another person that have she has brought multiple articles about Gypsy. The ones here I selected, this slide was made by me, no producer, it was me. It's because it's so obvious, the pieces that she brought. Look at the pictures. Here, Gypsy Rose holding a banana. Here, Gypsy Rose faking. She's talking on the phone. You can see here, she's faking talking on the phone. And then we have here this other picture with her and Ken, all right? That I don't know if this is Krusty's home, whatever. You can see that all these pieces do not come organically, okay? This feels like somebody pick up the phone, and I don't know if it was Gypsy Rose, and say, hey, I have a new story for you. I have a story for you. Because look out here. Look at the titles. It says, New Mom Gypsy Rose Blanchard shows off postpartum body almost a week after giving birth. So the body checking, that the body checking has always been there with Gypsy Rose. And then we go here. The second, the second article, it says, Gypsy Rose Blanchard shows post-prison makeover, including nose job in new photo. Hell, what the fuck? And look at this. This is pure garbage. The other one, it says here, Gypsy Rose Blanchard's debuts shocking new hair and sexy look. What the fuck? What? My God. Sexy? My God. The hypocrisy is too much. But I want you to see and think about this. These articles are fake ass bitch, okay? Fake ass bitch. And why I bring up these two women is because they were the two people covering Gypsy Rose. I think just right after she came out of prison. As you can see here, it says Gypsy Rose details her most painful, unnecessary procedure. And we have here again the word exclusive. And this article was published on December 31st, 2023. So I want you to think about this detail. The only people that were around Gypsy Rose around this time was Melissa Moore. That means that these two women were part of her group of friends, or they know each other from Melissa Moore's days in, on when she was working with Dr. Phil. They are close. They are part of the LA cloud, of the Hollywood cloud. And, the coincidence are kind of hard to ignore. But I told you this word, exclusive, is very important, and now I'm going to explain you why. People is known for doing exclusive deals. What that means, they pay for exclusive stories, right? And I will read the note that I got from Google search, where it says that people generally operate a more structured model of exclusive deals, sometimes involving payments to charities or agencies that can indirectly benefit the celebrity, especially for high value stories like baby photos, right? And if you don't have to believe me, just go to People, okay? Search for Gypsy Rose, and you will find a bunch of articles that are about her motherhood, her relationship with Ken or Ryan, and baby A, right? And what I can deduce from this is like, this is a moneymaker for Gypsy Rose, okay? Selling exclusive stories to people, probably something that she does to get money, right? I'm not saying that is the case, but my God, the coincidences are hard to ignore. Hard to ignore. Now, page 6 is like, I will say, if I don't know which is trashier. What is more garbage, TMC or page 6? Actually, page 6 has historically faced allegations and scandals surrounding paid for play. All right? And I will say, you will see these people behind me. I don't know if you remember, I think their name is Girls Gone Wild, right? Do you remember Girls Gone Wild? If you're American and you're millennial, Generation X, you will know Girls Gone Wild. It was like a porn thing, right? Let me kid myself. But this guy, Joe Francis, is the owner, right? And this other person that is up here is Richard Johnson. He was a columnist of page 6, all right? So let me go myself back in. So in 2006, I'm going to read what is here. In 2006, reports surfaced that page 6 columnist Richard Johnson, this old man here, mommy here, accepted a $50,000 all expenses paid bachelor party trip to Mexico from Girls Gone Wild founder Joe Francis. Okay? While the Daily News initially reported this as part of pay for play scandal, there comes another outlet, another gossip outlet, another media outlet. I don't know if it's gossip, whatever. The LA Times, the Los Angeles Times, later reported that Francis stated Johnson paid for his own airfare and decline free food and liquor. And I want to highlight this sample because we can see the game here. While one article in mainstream media exposed your shit, you can go to another outlet, pay them for them to do a hit piece PR to completely obliterate the backlash, right? And this is my conspiracy theory. You can think anything, you can get to your own conclusions. What I want to bring over is my last receipt. And I truly believe that Gypsy partake in this practice. And my receipts comes from her latest podcast interview with the stupid Andrea Dunlop. I freaking hate that woman. She's another fucking demon for what she did to her sister. All right, that's my opinion. If I will confess this. I hate Andrea Dunlop for what she did to her sister. Okay, fucking lying. Her whole career is a fake ass bitch thing too, right? But I want to show you why I do believe that in that interview, we got the receipt that Gypsy Rose is the one reaching these people, all this outlet, moving here and there, moving here, behind the scenes. All right, let's watch it.
I love that. I love that. So, Gypsy, we had an interesting sort of circuitous route to one another. Obviously, when you were released from prison, is it 2 years ago now?
2 years, yeah.
Yeah. That was a big news story. Obviously, I have the only podcast that I know of that covers Munchausen by proxy cases pretty exclusively to this point. So obviously, a lot of people
that nobody should listen because she's a fucking liar.
To me about interviewing you. And I said to folks who asked me that question at the time, I'd be much more interested in talking to her a couple of years from now. And here we are. So it feels really fortuitous, and I'm really happy that you reached out. So we originally actually met each other because your producers of your Lifetime series reached out to me and taped a conversation where you asked me some questions. And so I was really...
So, see? Gypsy reached out to Andrea. All right? When she was interested, at that time, Gypsy was interested to take again back to the public the Munchausen by proxy shit, okay? She used Andrea to push that narrative, right? That didn't work. But Gypsy Rose used her insider knowledge from her reality show to do this shit. The Lifetime producers make the contact then. And then Gypsy Rose called her. When everything was low, she was lost. She was losing the battle with the FOIAs. So guys, make your own conclusion. Do you believe that I'm hitting something or I'm reaching, right? The only thing I want to say here is that Gypsy Rose is a fucking cunning, dangerous woman. She's very stupid for many things, but for others, she is fucking smart, right? That is all I want to say. I don't want to take any more of your time, right? I hope you have a wonderful day. Take a little vacation.
Can you just sort of give me your take on how this little girl, now woman, has changed in the 7 years of interviews that you've done?
Yeah, over the 7 years, well, I first met with her. I was a correspondent on the Dr. Oz show, and Mommy Dead and Dearest had just aired. And I went down to try to get her interview, and she wasn't interested in doing that interview, but she ended up talking about that.